NeptunesOwl, about to show you how to walk on water. You gotta have faith in God, and trust that you won't sink, fall through the ice.
I can walk on water, 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 when it's just you and me.
So where does compassion come from? And what is compassion? Compassion is when you have an understanding, or you have a knowing of what somebody's going through, and you care about it, so you help them out with what they're going through so that they don't suffer. Whatever that would look like, whether you're actually giving them something to help them, or if you're just letting them get away with something to help them, or if you're just like not involving yourself to help them, because you can see if like you were to interact with them, oh, they're not going to like that. So you have compassion because you have a knowing of what they're going through. Now, why wouldn't you want somebody to have to go through something? Well, that would be because you see yourself in them to some extent, or you can see that they're a part of you in some way. So it's like if they suffer, you suffer. Now, how can you get an understanding of what somebody's going through? You yourself would have had to have experienced it in some way, shape, or form, or experienced something else that's similar, and then you relate it to that situation. But when you do that, you can't be so sure that they're going through what you think they're going through. Sometimes it might not be as bad as what you might think it is, or not as bad as they're portraying it to be, or maybe it's worse. Maybe it's worse than what you think because you're relating it to something else. So you never want to have preconceived ideas about things. You want to have clarity, and you want to know what you're looking at. You don't want to be in the realm of making theories and assuming things. So if you find somebody and it's like they have more compassion for you than others, and like you can see they're caring for you, and then it actually helps. It's like it helped you get out of that suffering. It healed you, or it prevented it, and then it's like gone, and it's like you're much better than you were before. That spirit cares about you because to some extent it's an actual spirit that's on your side, and you need to surround yourself with people like that. Because if you're around a whole bunch of people that don't understand you, and they're not going to have compassion for you, you can be acquaintances and whatnot, but it's like when you're really going through certain things, it's like if they just know nothing about it, you can't involve them with it because they're just not going to understand, and they're not really going to know how to help you, and they're not really going to care. It's kind of like children. You know, a lot of the times, like, children don't really know what they do. You know, they know not what they do. So forgive them, Lord. They know not what they do. Like you got some wild ass children that might think it's funny to hurt people. Like, they might go around just hitting people and stuff, then laugh. You're like, why did you just hit me? They're like, they think it's funny because you're giving them attention, and they don't really realize that they're causing you as much harm as they're causing you, kind of thing, because they don't know what it's like to be hit by somebody that's that much smaller than them. They might not be able to understand it. So, situations like that, it's like these people become your kids if you've gone through way more shit than they have, and they just like don't understand your realm. It's like they either need to just not participate in your realm, but if it's like they're on the same path as you, then you already have compassion for them because you can see that they're a part of you. So you already know what they're going through, even if they don't know what you're going through. In those situations, you can be friends with people like that too, if you want to see it as worth. They're like valuable enough, but these people kind of become like your kids. It's like you raise them, and you teach them, and you guide them along their path because they're on the same path that you're on. And not everybody's on the same path. Nobody's on the exact same path, but some of us are on similar paths, and those people are the people that are spirits that are truly on our side. That those are like Those are our kids, those are our teachers, those are our allies, people that are at the same level you're at. Those are the people that you need to surround yourself with and come together with. Agents, they're on a way different path than I'm on. They like being slaves, little pets in this matrix, and sometimes they might think that I'm on their path. Like, they just can't teach me. They're like, why can't I teach this kid? Because I'm not on the path you're on. I'm not going through the same stuff you're going through. I already went through all that stuff fucking probably thousands of years ago. They're not spirits that are on my side, so it's like, and they're definitely not in a position to humble themselves and listen to me and be taught. So you can't teach somebody that doesn't want to be taught. You really can't. I mean, to some extent, they might have resistance to your teaching, but if you can show them, and like they lose the resistance eventually, they're like, oh wow, I see what you're doing, then they were on your side all along. And like, we're all on each other's side in the overall perspective, but it's percentage level. And you need people that are at least like 80% on your side. Otherwise, it's going to become trauma bonding, where you're both just attacking each other, trying to make each other see where each other is coming from, putting each other through the same traumas. Like, the only way for the relationship to work in both of your minds is going to be, well, we have to be able to relate on some level with this shit, so I need to attack you, and then they're going to attack you back. And no, that's not somebody that's on your side, because you don't need their trauma, and they don't need your trauma. The only way to actually grow in this world is to have a warrior mindset of, I'm going to be free or die trying. I'm going to get rich or die trying. That type of shit. Because if not, you're just doing what these agents in the Matrix are doing, where they're like, well, I don't want to be free. I'd rather be a pet. I'd rather be a slave. So I'm going to continue to be traumatized by this world. Allow this world to continually traumatize me. And they just haven't gone through enough trauma yet to be like, fuck it. I don't want to do this shit anymore. I don't know why I'm like what I am. I don't know if it's because I've already gone through so much shit that I'm like, fuck this place. I'm going to be free or die trying. Or I don't know if it's just because of where I'm, what constellation or planet I'm from, like Mars or some shit, where I just don't fucking put up with anything. I'm rebellious as fuck. Like, whatever it is, the point is, I'm not in the same soul group that they're in. And I don't put up with shit. I don't need any more trauma. Yeah. I'm a real warrior because a real warrior goes to war knowing that they could die and is ready for that because they're going to war for what they believe in, what they think is right, what they think is true. And whatever you think is true, as long as you're not doing it for somebody, like as long as it's truly for you, you'll know. And just because it's true for you doesn't mean it's true for somebody else. So, if I know that there is something that is right to me, it is the most logical thing, then I will die for it if I have to. But I will die fighting, because I don't want to die. I want to be successful. I want to successfully do what I'm trying to do. And as long as I gave it my all, if I do die, hey, lesson learned, I come back 10 times more powerful. I won't make the same mistake I made last time. I'm most likely to not die this time fighting for it if I have to, if my death in itself didn't fix it. Sometimes dying for something will achieve it. Sometimes if you die to change something, that will change it. And then you die, you come back around, the whole world's changed. It's a fucking better place. And if it's like a serious battle, like a serious force that you're battling, whatever it might be, then yeah, maybe you might have to die hundreds of times fighting it until you eventually have gone through enough mistakes, and one of these times you're going to become more powerful than whatever it is you're fighting, and as long as you never give up, you will beat it. But if you get bored and you decide it's not worth it, and you move on, you decide not to come back here, well then, that's fine too. That's your choice. That's what's right to you. But if it's right to you to keep trying, keep trying. But if it's right to you to stop, stop. I don't put up with shit. I see through all the bullshit in the world, and I know what's right to me. And no matter who tells me that it's not right, fuck you. Too bad. It's right to me. Nobody's changing my mind on nothing. And that's a warrior mentality. That's me. I'm a real warrior. If you have a mindset and somebody is able to change it, it was a weak mindset. Now, obviously, minds always change. Your mind is always going to change because God is going to change it. You can't beat God because God is nothing, and He is always going to change your mind. And that's fine. You want to stay aligned with God's will. But as long as you're staying aligned with God's will, and you know you're aligned with God's will, and you have a certain mentality, and you truly know God, then nothing should be able to change your mind. Nothing, because only nothing is going to be able to change your mind. That's why I'm starting to have an appreciation for being alone for as long as I have, because I'm seeing the importance in it. I'm seeing the value, and I'm seeing how I would just be wasting my time surrounding myself with people that aren't in my soul group. I would just be adding on to the trauma. I would be feeling more lonely than I am now, because I would be abandoning my own soul. So as long as you're with God, you're not going to feel alone. And I'm now seeing how God is with me. I am with me, because I know myself. I know God. And there's a benefit to, good comes to those who wait. If you can wait it out and not just involve yourself with people just for the sake of involving yourself with people, and if you wait, you will find your true soul group. You're going to find people who truly do think like you, and people that are truly on your side. And even, don't get too prideful, because you might need to be alone just to change your mind, to realize that your mindset in itself was weak, and you should have let God change it. Maybe you're not letting God change your mind. Never let a person change your mind, but let God change your mind. If you're not letting God change your mind, you're being a demon, you're being a devil, and you're delusional. You're not in reality. You're not even an ally to yourself. You're an enemy against yourself. And sometimes it takes being alone to realize that. If you've just been arguing with everyone around you, sometimes you might have to be alone for a bit to reflect and talk with God. And God's going to show you, hey, change your mind. And once you change your mind, then you can go back to interacting with those people, and you can see that they were your true allies. But sometimes they're not, and good comes to those who wait. So if you wait it out, you will meet people that are truly spirits on your side.